Hello truth seekers, and welcome back to our channel, where we unveil the shocking truth behind the glamorous world of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. Ladies and gentlemen, your favorite neighbor critic coming in hot with some absolutely mind-blowing revelations that'll have you questioning everything you thought you knew about the Sussex saga. So grab your favorite beverage, because today I need to talk to you about something that's absolutely blown my mind. You know I always keep it real with you. And today we're diving into yet another chapter of what I like to call the never-ending complaint chronicles, starring our favorite former royal who just can't seem to stop finding new things to whine about. But before we delve into further discussion, if you haven't subscribed, come on guys, what are you waiting for? Hit like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell ASAP. So now, let me tell you about the latest revelation that's got everyone talking. You're not going to believe this, but apparently Nottingham Cottage, yes, the same charming, historic cottage where Prince William and Catherine started their married life, wasn't good enough for Meghan Markle. Can we just take a moment to process this? Here's what's particularly fascinating about this whole situation. This cozy cottage on the grounds of Kensington Palace, which has housed numerous royals over the years, was supposedly seen as some kind of insult by Meghan. According to Tom Quinn's new book, she interpreted the size of Nottingham Cottage as the royal family belittling Harry. Seriously? We're talking about a historic property in one of London's most prestigious locations. You know what really gets me? When William and Catherine lived there as newlyweds, they made it their home with grace and gratitude. They understood something fundamental about the royal family. It's not about the size of your house, it's about service, tradition, and dignity. But apparently that concept was completely lost on someone who came from a Los Angeles apartment. Let's put this in perspective, my friends. Nottingham Cottage is literally on the grounds of Kensington Palace. It's where Harry proposed to Meghan, for heaven's sake. But instead of seeing the beauty and history of living in such a significant place, all she could focus on was that it wasn't as big as William and Catherine's residence. Talk about missing the point entirely. And here's where it gets even more interesting. According to the book, they actually had the audacity to ask for living quarters inside Windsor Castle itself. Windsor Castle, the Queen's primary residence. Can you imagine the presumption? The sheer entitlement of thinking that as a newly married couple, they deserve to live in the actual castle. What makes this even more ironic is that when they were later given Frogmore Cottage, a generous gift from the Queen herself, they spent millions of taxpayers' money renovating it, only to barely spend any time there before jetting off to California. The late Queen Elizabeth II, bless her heart, gave them a property right next to her private gardens. As Lady Elizabeth Anson pointed out, this was the Queen literally giving up part of her personal space, her solitude, her privacy. And how was that generosity repaid? Let me tell you something that really speaks volumes about the difference in character here. When the same Nottingham Cottage was William and Catherine's first home, they made it work beautifully. They understood that it wasn't about the size of their home, but about their role in the institution they served. Catherine, who came from a wealthy family herself, never once complained about the accommodations. Instead, she rolled up her sleeves and made it a home. Let's talk about the Duke of Kent for a moment. Prince Edward, the longest-serving duke in British history. Here's a man who dedicated his entire life to service, who understands what it means to be a working royal. He's watched this whole saga unfold, seeing the institution he served faithfully for decades being attacked repeatedly by someone who barely gave a royal life a chance before deciding it wasn't glamorous enough. You know what's particularly sad about all this? Harry grew up in these palaces. He knew the significance of these properties, their history, their meaning to the monarchy. Yet somehow he allowed himself to be convinced that living in a cottage was beneath him. The same Harry who was once so down to earth, who served in the military, lived in barracks, and seemed to understand the value of service beyond material possessions. The contrast between how different members of the royal family handled their positions couldn't be more stark. On one side, you have William and Catherine, who continue to serve with grace and dignity and understanding of their role. They are raising their children to understand the importance of duty and service. Then you have the Duke of Kent, who has spent decades quietly supporting the monarchy without complaint or drama. And on the other side, well, we have this constant stream of complaints, this persistent narrative of victimhood, this endless attempt to paint every single thing as some sort of slight or insult. It's exhausting, isn't it? And quite frankly, it's becoming increasingly transparent to everyone watching. You know what makes me particularly sad? This could have been such a different story. Meghan could have been a powerful force for good within the royal family. Instead, we're reading about how she felt belittled by the size of a historic royal property that many would consider a privilege to live in. My dear viewers, I think it's time we call this what it is: a pattern of behavior that reveals more about the complainers than it does about the institution they're criticizing. The royal family isn't perfect. No institution is. But this constant attempt to paint every single thing as some sort of slight or insult is getting old. Let me know in the comments below what you think. Are you as tired as I am of these never-ending complaints? How do you think this compares to how other royals handle their positions? Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want more royal commentary that tells it like it is. Until next time, stay royal, my friends, and remember, true nobility isn't about the size of your house. It's about the size of your heart and the commitment to service. Bye for now.